Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're continuing our 5-year rebuild series here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're doing the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Now, Middle Tennessee in College Football 25 in our Pawtucket Dynasty, they were giving me a lot of trouble, so there is some talented players on this team. And yeah, man, they gave us trouble in Pawtucket. That's kind of why we're doing it. We're going to try to win them a national title. They seemingly are on the ups, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, man, we're trying to get these rebuilds done before CFB 26. Of course, if I don't rebuild your team this year, we will be doing it in CFB 26. But today we're doing Middle Tennessee. Right now, there are 76 overall, 76 in the offense, 77 on the defense. They run the air raid and a base 3-4 defense. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is their roster. Nicholas Vattel, whatever this. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this guy's name. I'm bad with names. He's our starting quarterback for the next 2 years. We have Luther. We also have Roman. Curious to see how he'll develop there. We have Frank Pleasant as our starting running back with 92 speed. That's great. We have 291 speed running backs in Jaden and Brian. And then our other running backs look decent, but we'll see how they develop. No fullbacks on the roster. Receivers. Omar Kelly looks pretty good. Sark said he's a junior. Same with Kelly and Stewart. He looks pretty good, but he's a junior. Same with Cameron Lacey, but he's a freshman redshirt. Everybody else, we're going to see how they develop, I guess. Tight end, Holden Willis. And then I have no clue who else we have. 2 freshman left tackles. If they could develop, we might be good at left tackle. Marcus Miller is our starter right now. Senior Elias Adams is our left guard. We also have Jason Overton. See how he develops. We also have our freshman Alex Gale. Julius Pierce will be the starter. Macho, starting right guard, right tackle. We have Buford, I don't know how to pronounce it. We have Anthony Bynum, freshman redshirt. We have Caleb Reed. Interested to see how he develops. We're good at right end, I think, for the rest of the rebuild. I'm curious to see how all they develop. D tackle, we have Aiden Butts, freshman there. We'll see how he develops. Drew Francis starting left out. We have Devin Curtis starting middle linebacker. 2 freshmen middle linebackers. Jordan Thompson, freshman right outside linebacker. Hopefully he develops good. We have really hardly no cornerback depth, but we have Jackson Lyle. We'll see how he develops. We have Jordan Beasley. Curious to see how he develops. Honestly, we have some freshmen that maybe could develop for us, but we'll see how the cookie crumbles. We got to recruit to replace some talent and fill in some holes, so let's get going. David Clemens, committed. Rudy Childress, committed. Juan Aikman, committed. Keon Braham, committed. Ezekiel Brazel, commits. Stanley Intersagen, committed. Mitch Silverman, committed. Shakir Shitzu, committed. Melvin Mann, committed. Rudy Stork commits. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the CUSA Championship, taking on the Liberty Flames. J.R. Rattler, committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner is Cade Klubnik, quarterback of Clemson. He had 3,681 yards, 36 tutties, and 3 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the New Mexico Bowl, taking on the UNLV Rebels. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our ass handed to us, 43-0. Great start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 1 stats. Nicholas had 3,542 yards, 282 for 496, 26 tutties, 13 picks, 56% completion percentage. We need a better quarterback. No offense to Nicholas. Frank, 145 for 487, 7 tutties. Nicholas, 108 for 294, 1 tutty. Jaden, 16 for 44, 2 tutties. Brian, 1 for 4. And Stuart, 1 for 1. How about the receiving? Kelly, 69 for 1,046, 9 tutties. Butler, 65 for 1,003, 6 tutties. Stuart, 49 for 608, 4 touchdowns. Willis, 58 for 577, 3 tutties. Frank, 27 for 179. Cameron, 8 for 105, 2 tutties. Brian Bruton, 1 for 12. Daniel Gonzalez, 3 for 10, 1 a tutty. Ryan, 1 for 1 with a tutty. And how about Jaden, 1 for 1? How about the defense here? 99 tackles for Devin Curtis, 70 for Drew Francis. Xavier Williams, also with 70, along with Drew. 69 for Harris, 65 for Robbie. 3 for McDowell, 54 for Buckner and House, 4, 50 for Jalen Jackson. Tackles lost, 10 by Buckner, 5 by Francis, 4 by Curtis and Hickson, and Smith, 3 by Bynum. Robbie with 2, 1 for Harris, Jackson, Stewart, and Willis. Sacks, we had 14 by Drew, 6.5 by Buckner, 2 by Alex, 1.5 by Smith, 1 by Hickson and Bynum, half sack by Curtis and Jackson. Interceptions, 2 by Robbie, Williams, and McDonald, and 1 by Drew Francis. Obviously a disappointing end to year 1, but let's bounce back here in year 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Oregon K-State meets for the Natty. Oregon finishes on top 42-24. Nate Hewitt commits. Cassie Seegers committed. Michael Pounds commits. Hunter Washington committed. Amerison Peterson committed. Anthony Battle commits. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 44th best class in the nation. That's the best in this USA. We've gotten some talent. Let's try to, develop them now. Let's go. Leon Kirkland committed. Delvin Vaughn committed. Duke Penton committed. Trevor Scruggs commits. Stephen Payne committed. Gerald Struggles commits. Landon Strogans committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made the CUSA Championship once again. This time taking on Western Kentucky. Melly Coates commits. Dean Newzell commits. Landon Rashid commits. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2025 Heisman Trophy winner is Marcelo Reed, quarterback from Texas A&M. He had 3,718 yards, 32 tutties, and 8 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Bahamas Bowl, taking on Appalachian State. Ladies and gentlemen, we lose it once again in the bowl game. This time we lose much closer. We lose 24-17 to App State. Damn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 2 stats. Luther Richarlison had 3,885 yards, 303 for 531, 34 tutties, 13 picks, 57% completion percentage. Rushing, Jaden Cradell, 188 for 788, 8 tutties. Luther, 97 for 251, 4 tutties. Meadowbrook, 7 for 35. We did not run the ball, it seems. Miles Butler had 86 for 1,321, 13 tutties. Kelly, 59 for 924, 10 tutties. Ryan Hokerstamp, 68 for 713, 6 tutties. Lacey, 42 for 427, 3 tutties. Sherman, 12 for 224, 1 tutty. Cradell, 30 for 221, 1 tutty. This guy, 4 for 42. Middlebrook, 2 for 13. How about the defense here? 74 tackles for Eldridge. Howes the fourth, 67, 57 for Snow. Brown, 53, 52 for Washington, 49 for Robbie. Farrell, 46, and same with Thompson. Tackles for loss, 8 by Hickson, 5 for Snow, 3 for Brown, Robinson with 3, Bynum for 3, Buckner with 3, 2 for Elder, Rabbie, Battle, and Stewart, 1 by Washington and Woods. Sacks, 9 by Snow and Robinson, 5 by Buckner, 3 by Elder, Bynum with 2.5, 2 for Hickson and Woods, 1.5 for Thompson, Brown with 0.5, and Farrell with 0.5. Interceptions, 3 by Robbie, Smith with 2, 1 by Snow, Elder, Thompson, Farrell, Washington, and Howes the fourth. Obviously, we wanted to win the CUSA. We didn't for the past 2 years. We wanted to win a bowl game. We haven't. I think year 3, we can get it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was Michigan and Notre Dame rekindling their rivalry. But Michigan said, Notre Dame, F you, we're going to beat that ass. And that's exactly what they did. Michigan wins 49-28. Willis McGahee the fourth committed. Max Williams commits. Elijah Prather committed. Jacob Anderson commits. Davion Patterson committed. Zane Flores commits. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 32nd best class in the nation. That's the best in the CUSA. I think this year, let's win the CUSA. And let's win a bowl game. Terriel Malvexi committed. Hayden Ritz committed. Doug Malden committed. James Valajo commits. Craig Ricks committed. Theo Coxey committed. Kiki Nwangwu commits. Mafu Hope committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Jaden Rashada, quarterback of Georgia. He had 3,730 yards, 40 tutties, and 3 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Armed Forces Bowl, taking on Colorado State. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot win a bowl game to save our life. We lose to Colorado State 33-28. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 3 stats. Luther Richarlison had 3,852 yards, 300 for 506, 27 tutties, 10 picks, 59% completion percentage. Rushing, Peterson, 92 for 417, 10 tutties. Price, 69 for 341, 3 tutties. Richardson, 77 for 207, 2 tutties. Middlebrook, 1 for 1. How about the receiving? Evans, 84 for 1,319, 5 tutties. Lacey, 57 for 962, 7 tutties. Sam, 59 for 657, 9 tutties. Mitch, 59 for 515, 3 tutties. JoJo, 8 for 126, 2 tutties. Peterson, 15 for 105, 1 tutty. Duke, 9 for 93. Price, 9 for 75. The defense here, Battle had 87 tackles, 62 for Juan. Patterson, 57, 55 for Lyle Farrell, 54, 53 for McGahee the fourth. Mons the third, 52 and 40 for Simpson Smith. Tackles lost 6 by Love. McGehee the fourth with 4, along with Hickson and Woods. 3 by Battle, Aikman and Smithson Smith. 2 by Thompson and Smith. 1 by Byam and Robinson. Sacks 9 by Simpson Smith. 7.5 by Love. 4 by Hickson. Thompson with 2. 1 by Battle. Half sack for Aikman. Interceptions 3 by Farrell. Lau with 2. 1 by Aikman and McGee the fourth. And Patterson and Mons the third. Next year, can we win a bowl game, please? Ladies and gentlemen, it was UCF versus Georgia. And let's be honest, Georgia, they had them beat. 31-14 was the final. Bernard Owen committed. Jordan Toney committed. Fluff Bothwell commits. Darren Cano committed. Richard Hendershot commits. Josh Arendoff commits. Jaden Mixon committed. Keenan Overeem committed. Lane Murphy committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 29th best class in the nation here in year 3. Please, let's win a bowl game here in year 4. Nick Crumpler committed. Matthew Malik committed. Cordell Deer committed. Larry Luna committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2027 Heisman Trophy winner is Austin Novosad, quarterback of Oregon. He had 3,764 yards, 44 tutties, and 2 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the New Orleans Bowl, and we're going to be taking on a CUSA foe in Kennesaw State. How does this happen? And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We've won a bowl game finally. We are New Orleans Bulls, champions of the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. Stephen Payne had 3,370 yards, 250 for 377, 29 tutties, 4 picks, 66% completion percentage. Rushing, Payne, 146 for 591, 8 tutties. Peterson, 115 for 529, 7 tutties. Fluff, 68 for 377, 6 tutties. Ethan, 1 for 2. How about the receiving? 62 for 969, 9 tutties for Lacey. Mann, 57 for 901, 11 tutties. Ethan, 49 for 651, 4 tutties. Duke, 40 for 392, tutties. Williams, 12 for 258, 2 tutties. Fluff, 12 for 91. Peterson, 10 for 61, a tutty. Mitch, 8 for 58. How about the defense here? 77 tackles for McGahee the fourth, 72 for Keon, 57 for Kion and Juan, 51 for David. Malik with 48, 46 for Patterson, and Craig Ricks with 40. Tackles lost. Malik Love with 10. Robinson with 8, 5 for Thompson, 3 for McGahee the fourth. Keon with 2, along with Kion, Aiden Butts, Rudy, Woods, and Anthony. 1 by Juan. Sacks, 17.5 by Malik Love. Love to see that. 5.5 by Robinson, 4 by Woods. McGahee the fourth with 3.5, 3 for Byam, 2.5 for Stork. Zion with 1.5, 1 for Keon and Aiden Butts. Half sack for Juan, Corey, Love. And then interceptions, 4 by Patterson, David with 3, along with Craig. 2 for McGahee the fourth, and Keon. And ladies and gentlemen, we've won a bowl game. Next question, can we make the playoffs? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the national championship. It was Oregon taking on UAB, and just like UCF, UAB had no chance in hell. I'm sorry. Oregon 38, UAB 24. Addison Leon committed. Darian Koroma committed. Cam Pringle committed. Quincy Ogletree committed. Keon Speed committed. Jason Anderson committed. Marvin Kaiser commits. Not going to try that last name commit. Malik Hoodell commits. Andrew Wojcicki committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 35th best class in the nation here. Hopefully, this is the recruiting class that can take us over the top and win a natty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Auto recruiting on. Let's get the sitting. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the conference championship. We're going to be taking on Louisiana Tech. We're ranked 8th in the land, and I think if we win, we'll get a bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. CUSA champs. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We've made the playoff, and we're going to be taking on UAB. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We took care of UAB. We're on to the quarters. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to the All-State Sugar Bowl, taking on the number 1 ranked Ole Miss Rebels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Caesar Superstone. I am sorry, my air conditioner is finally in, and I'm sorry you have to deal with the noise. I like to be cool. I like to be crisp, especially when it's very, very hot outside. So I'm sorry you have to deal with it. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm sorry for the quality. Anyway, we are here as Middle Tennessee State, or Middle Tennessee. We are trying to win a national title, so we got to take care of Ole Miss. It's going to be tough because they're from the SEC, but we're from Tennessee, and where's a Tennessee team in the SEC? So we may not play in the SEC, but we have the heart and soul of SEC play. Let's take care of Ole Miss, folks. I'm sorry I haven't showed you much in this game. We've scored twice, and I completely skipped over it. We are up 10 points, second and goal from the 1. Payne hands it off. He's in. Touchdown, Middle Tennessee. Up 17, we shall go. And ladies and gentlemen, we took care of Ole Miss with ease. We beat them by 20. We beat the #1 team in the land by 20. Anything is possible in life. On to the semis we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, taking on the Miami Hurricanes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Glendale, Arizona. We are wearing the blue as the home team in this one. Miami, they're tough. They play in SEC country too. Get it? Because they play in Florida, and Florida's an SEC. Anyway, Miami's tough. They're always tough, but we seemingly have beaten them. But, you know, maybe I just jinxed ourselves. Hopefully not. Here we go. If we win this game, we're taking Middle Tennessee to a national championship. I mean, we beat the #1 team in the land. We're flying high. Let's take care of business, boys. Kiki! 62-yard touchdown, 10-0 Middle Tennessee. Kaheem Harris, 22-yard touchdown, it's 17-0. And ladies and gentlemen, we took care of Miami with ease, 26-8 the final. We were shutting them out for like half the game, and we are on our way to the national championship. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the national title, and we're going to be taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Jerry's World, Arlington Tennis, AT&T Stadium. Here we go. You're here for the reason. Can we win the national title with Middle Tennessee? That's why you're watching. That's why you are here. Penn State, they're going to be tough. But we said the same thing about Ole Miss, Miami. We beat the shit out of them, and we beat UAB as well. Penn State is tough. They're going to be tough. But we got heart. We got soul. Let's do it. Middle Tennessee, it's your time to shine. Let's do it. Fucking clock accelerate! 32, Payne. Fucking come on. 4th and 2. We're down 14-3. Here we go, Payne. I made the wrong read. That might have just cost his game, folks. Alrighty, Kiki with a 17-yard touchdown. Can we come back? I don't know. We're going for 2. We're going to try to cut this to 10. Here we go. Payne. Go. Mofit's in. 11-21. Defense, come on. Here we go. 1st and goal at the 8. We got life, folks. Payne. On the freaking throne. Preferably want a touchdown. 2nd and goal from the 8. Mofit. Spin move. Gonna get us a 3rd and goal at the 3. Come on, boys. If we can get a touchdown, we got life. Here we go. Payne! Something to go for, bro. We'll kick the 3. What the fuck? The clock doesn't need to accelerate! God, we're getting home by the game! Payne's gonna pick up the 1st and a lot more slide. Timeout. Here we go. 1st and 10, 51 seconds, because this clock accelerates! Here we go. Payne, run. We're gonna go no huddle. Wish we got the 1st. Could have had the clock stop for a little bit. All right, here we go. Why am I going to R1? I forced it. I forced it. 3rd and 3. Here we go. You got him! Harris! Touchdown! We're gonna kick the extra point. We'll kick the extra point. We're not going for 2. We tied it up! Let's go! Here we are, overtime in the national title. Payne hands it off to Mofit. Gonna get 4. 2nd and 6 here. Here we go. Payne, play action. Roll it out. Got Penton. He's in. Touchdown. Middle Tennessee. Defense. Let's do it. Here we go. We're going to play a little defense here. Here we go. This is our chance to win the game. Here we go, Cano.
There, right there, right there! Get it! Use our luck! Cano with the game-winning pick, and Middle Tennessee has done it! We are national champions, the kings of college football! Way to go, Cano with the user, suck on that, Penn State! Suck on that! We came from behind, and we did it, because we have heart, we have soul, we never give up here at Middle Tennessee! You know, some people, they'll give up, but we don't! Middle Tennessee, on top of the college football mountain, let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, the user, Lurk, seals us the national championship. We have done it. Middle Tennessee, national champions of the world. Let's go. Middle Tennessee, Payne, been a good quarterback for us, dude. I made a mistake this past year. I was doing online franchises or online dynasties instead of offline. Man, we could have gone back and had memories, gone down a trip down memory lane at the end of the year, but I'm dumb. Anyway, Middle Tennessee, national champions. We did it. Let's go. If you have enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe, guys. Hit like and subscribe. You guys motivate me to keep doing this. All right? Leave a comment in the YouTube. Comment section helps post the YouTube. Algorithm helps my channel grow, get my channel out to more people and whatnot. I'm going to get out of here. I want you to have a great day or have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.